here I would like to present my textbook review. Before that, I'm going to introduce what kind of this presentation will be. Well, I have an assignment that is arranged to fulfill extensive reading subject that was given by my lecturer, Ms. Nida Husna MPD MA Tisol. Well, the first I would like to introduce myself. My name is Hidayana Putri. I'm in the 5th semester 8th class, Department of English Education, Faculty of Tarbiya and Teachers Training at Syarif Hidayatullah State Islamic University of Jakarta, Indonesia. Well, this is the third book that I've reviewed, Paving the Way in Reading and Writing, Strategies and Activities to Support Struggling Students in Grades 6 to 12 by Lewin. Lewin is a former teacher and is author of numerous books on teaching practice and consult nationally to district school on professional development topics. Well, this is the book response form. Here we go. The book title is Paving the Way in Reading and Writing, Strategies and Activities to Support Struggling Students in Grades 6 to 12. The author by Lewin, published by Josie Bass Agency and published in 2003. The number of pages 246, and then the genre of this book is reference. Well, here I would like to review about the introduction of this book, and then the contents, the strengths and the limits, and who should read this book. Well, the first, introduction. Why would a secondary teacher need to pave the way for students to read or write in class? Why? Because the students in middle schools, high schools, or junior highs need to pave the way when they read and write. Because sometimes they become do assignment in reading and writing well, but sometimes they cannot. Because of that, they need to pave the way in reading and writing. And then the second one is, what is the purpose of paving the way? Well, the purpose of paving the way is to make a teacher provide their chance. The chance like a chance to gain students' attention, and then a chance to teach them, and then to give them different approach in reading and writing, teaching when we are in the classroom. Well, I will talk about the contents of this book. As you know that the contents in this book, there are 7 chapters that I would like to explain one by one. I would like to review one by one. Well, first, chapter 1 is building the twin pillars of literacy. Well, here the student will know about twin pillars of literacy. Not the student, but the teacher. The twin pillars of literacy means reading and writing. Here, how to build a reading skill and writing skill to our student, and the teacher can teach well in the classroom. What we get in this chapter 1, first, improving reading and writing in every classroom. Well, we can improve the reading and writing skill to our students, and then the second one is integrating process and visualization approaches, and then the third, a 4-part instructional framework. A 4-part instructional framework is, we can see here, like prepare, first there, prepare and share. You can see here. Prepare in writing means pre-writing, and then prepare in reading means getting ready to read. And then the second one is first there. First there in writing means rough or draft, and then in reading means our initial reading. And then repair in writing means rewriting, revising, editing, proofreading, like that. And then in reading, repair means to revisit the text. Well, the last one is share. In writing, share means publishing. Publish our writing. And then share in reading means to our understanding what we have read of the text, of the story, and etc. like that. And then there were 4-part instructional framework in reading and writing. And then we move on to chapter 2, developing the reader's confidence, prepare and first there. Well, here the teacher will know how to develop the reader confidence between preparation and first there. As I told before, prepare in writing means pre-writing, and then in reading means we are getting ready to read. And then first there in writing means draft, and then in reading means our initial reading, what we have to read, what we will read. Well, in this chapter we will get a structured approach to support strategic reading, and then second one, schema theory of reading comprehension, and then the third, easily implemented classroom activities. Well, we move on to chapter 3. Well, here, moving to richer comprehension, repair, and share. Well, the teacher will know how to move to dig deeper, become a richer comprehension in students' skill, especially in reading and writing. And there are 2 ways, like repair and share. As I told before, repair in writing means pre-writing, revising, editing, and in reading means what will we read, and then share in writing means publishing, and in reading means to our understanding what we have read. Well, what we get in this chapter 3, first, repairing initial understandings, easily implemented classroom activities, and sharing understanding and interpretation. And then move on to chapter 4, working with literacy texts. Well, here, the chapter 4, working with literacy texts. Well, writing is very important because it gives benefits to teacher and our students. What we will get in this chapter 4, first, prepare and first there exercise. Prepare and first there, I have explained before. And then second one, preparing literary understanding, and sharing understanding and interpretation, and a sample lesson. Well, I will give you a sample lesson based on this book, like this. First, a sample lesson of short story titled Bandonemen. I took this from this book. Well, what we have to do first, read the title. After read the title, we ask a question and then make a prediction. After that, we scan the story. How we scan the story? what we will do in the scan story. First, we can scan the story based on places, illustrations, proper names, and dialogue. After that, we do sample interpreters like what I learned and then what I predict. After that, check out the author, recognize his name and what I learned from his bio. And in the chapter 5, writing for content learning, we will get instructional framework, planning assignments, basic writing activities, talking back with memos, and preparing short critiques like postcard, expository exercises like the news article and the informative narrative, and prepared editing activities like sentence opening sheet. We'll hear the content of learning in writing in the classroom. Well, we move on to chapter 6. Here are the following advanced writing skills. Here the teacher will know about how to develop advanced writing skills in student skill, like writing and reading, where we will get synthesizing content like study guide activities, and then persuasive writing like letter activities, expressing ideas and opinions like a sample lesson that I've explained before, and then other traditional writing assignments, and final thoughts on writing for the share stage. Share stage, I told before, in writing and in reading. And then we move on to chapter 7. It is the last chapter, supporting the task of writing. Here, the writer presented some of the tasks of writing. What we get here? First, managing writing in the classroom, and then making use of technical tools, building spelling and grammar skills, teaching research tactics. Well, spelling, grammar, and research is the three skills, the special skills that very important to develop our student skill in reading and writing. Well, what are the strengths and the limit of this book? Based on my opinion, the strength of this book is very useful to us, and it gives us the details of the reading and writing. And I think the limits of this book is no limits, because I think it's almost perfect. Because of that, I said there is no limits in this book. And then, who should read this book? Who should read this book? This book should read by the teacher or language arts in English, and then parents, and then pre-service teacher. I mean, if we have not yet teaching and we become a teacher, we should read this book. Okay? And then there is a quote: reading strategies should lead to writing. Writing strategies should encourage further reading. Well, that's all my textbook review. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe my video and give your like and give your comments. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.